Hashtag stop studying grammar rules and start speaking. Now you are wasting your time if you think studying big grammar books will help you survive a conversation in the real world. Most people learn the wrong way, and that's why they get stuck every time a native speaker says something as simple as, "What's up?" Today I'm going to show you how to skip the boring stuff and learn English through short, punchy dialogues. We are going to look at how people actually talk in places like London or New York, rather than how a robot talks in a textbook. By the end of this, you will have specific phrases you can use tomorrow morning to sound natural and confident. Textbooks often teach you formal language that nobody actually uses, which is why you might feel like an outsider even when you know the words. Let's start with a very common situation: getting a coffee. Imagine a character named Alex. Alex goes into a shop and says, "Can I have a coffee?" The worker asks, "For here or to go?" Alex gets confused. In a dialogue, we learn that to go just means you want to take your drink outside. If you only study vocabulary lists, you might think the worker is asking if you want to leave the building forever. Short dialogues teach you these little idioms that make life easier. Think about the phrase, "I'll take the check." In a restaurant, you aren't literally taking a piece of paper and leaving, you are asking to pay. These are the small secrets that make you sound like a pro. Let's look at another one. Imagine Sarah is at the bus stop and she needs to know when the next bus arrives. She doesn't say, "Excuse me, at what time does the public transportation vehicle arrive?" It sounds like a 200-year-old ghost. Instead, she says, "Hey, do you know when the next bus is due?" That word "due" is a gold mine. It tells us when something is expected. Short dialogues give you these natural chunks of language that you can just grab and use. It is much easier to remember a short story about Sarah than it is to remember a list of 10 verbs. The biggest problem learners face isn't knowing the words, it's the speed and the way words blend together. When a native speaker talks, they mash words together. Want to becomes wanna. Going to becomes gonna. If you don't practice with dialogues, your brain won't recognize these sounds even if you know the spelling perfectly. It's like trying to listen to music through a thick wall. You hear the beat, but you miss all the lyrics. This gap between the page and the ear is where most students give up. To fix this, we use a trick called shadowing. You listen to a dialogue and repeat it exactly like the speaker, mimicking their rhythm and their emotion. Imagine you are an actor playing a role in a movie. If the person in the dialogue sounds surprised, you should sound surprised too. This helps your mouth muscles get used to the strange movements English requires. Think about the phrase, "take a right at the light." Say it fast. It sounds like one long word. This is what we call connected speech end. Dialogues are the best way to catch it. You are training your ears to hear the patterns. The magic moment happens when you realize you don't need to translate every single word in your head. When you hear someone say, "How's it going?" your brain shouldn't think about the grammar of the word going or the verb to be. It should just know that this means, "Hello, how are you?" You start reacting instead of translating. That is the secret to true fluency. It's like riding a bike. You don't think about the pedals or the chain, you just look at the road ahead and enjoy the ride. Learning through these short scenes builds your confidence because you are practicing real life, not a classroom test. You are learning the music of the language. If you can master one small dialogue every day, you will have hundreds of ready-to-use sentences in your head within a few months. You won't have to pause and say or while you search for the right tense. You will just speak. Keep practicing these small bites every day, and soon you will be able to handle any conversation that comes your way. Watch this next video to master your pronunciation and sound even more like a native speaker.